Can we start re-recording?
Join the Patreon, and for
$4
a month,
dude, I'll do that.
We'll
if you want to do a
names.
Patreon called Who Stinks,
and say the names of everybody.
if you want to do a Patreon called Who Stinks,
Richie will be on that podcast because I'll finally be able to.
All right, and we're restarting.
Welcome back to the Comedy Store Doorcast. I am your host, Luke Schwartz, and I don't take orders from you. This week I got a bunch of newly passed guys and myself. To my left is Quincy Weekly.
Hello.
Quincy's on the phone. He's the phones guy. He can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Speaking of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, is Dave Wade.
Hey, what's up? Now, what's going to happen now that you're past? Will somebody take over as the host of the door guy thing?
Yes. And then next to him is Bruce Gray. And hi, Bruce.
Hey everyone, it's Bruce Gray.
Yeah, you too.
Join our Patreon, $5 a month. It's called Who Stinks, and we tell you who stinks.
Now, with the host of the
But you gotta pay
podcast,
us.
just
You
because
gotta pay us.
$5.
we're all
I'd say
talking
$4. Sorry. Yeah, we're all talking.
$5. No value.
Welcome back. As always, shout out, our usuals, Big Bad Brad, Mike Z, and Shannon. And Shannon's a big special shout out to Shannon's boyfriend. Wow. Pierre, huh?
Nice guy.
Yeah, seems.
I think Shannon saw me at a show last week.
That
she went to an
tracks.
improv show.
She
or
follows
something.
the sport.
Kind of bums me out that all these losers that used to come here by themselves all the times now have significant others.
And you don't?
Yeah.
Well,
I
he
was like, these people don't got no life. And
Mike Z did. Mike Z pulled off the ultimate. My girlfriend goes to another school, and then she showed up here, and she was real.
She's like, he's
brought people around. He's not like he has friends.
Mike Z's crushing
He has
puss.
a normal social scene.
Dude, I mean, Big Bad Brad is obviously crushing puss.
He's a great guy.
Nobody wears a leather jacket like that and just doesn't crush it constantly.
So, Dave, were you waiting to become a paid regular before you tried to smash these ladies? Is that what happened?
No, I've been out just on these streets. Yeah. I don't know what that means. I'm on the streets. I don't know what it means.
If you need Speedweed, go to Speedweed.
Yeah, Dave, you should smash Gino from Speedweed.
Gino, the Speedweed guy.
Show him my blunt.
Yeah, and there were a couple people that came and it's been a wild week.
What's been wild about it?
WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of big freaks in here.
It's really people who like wrestling, and I just don't identify.
It's not people. It's adults who like wrestling. It's so.
They're just
well,
people. What are you gonna do?
This is my two things about the wrestling week is that there was a lot of big men in here. A lot of these guys you'd see that with real fucking pythons.
Bruce
These guys.
Like, yeah,
and I'd be like, yeah, baby. And then there was a specific WrestleMania event in here that was like a podcast they did with a bunch of wrestlers. A lot of singles at the show. Let me tell you that first off. And
single people.
A lot of ones.
Solo parties.
Solo parties.
A lot of Ted parties of one.
There's one thing whenever you do a thing.
They all came for the thing.
There's one thing where people come in and you smell someone. You're like, oh, that person smells like shit. And then there's also a thing where you're like, oh, somebody farted. But that was not as much of either of those two things at that thing. There was mostly 3 or 4 times people came through the line and I was like, that guy has diarrhea in his pants right now. He smells like legitimate shit.
That's why I recommend cigarettes. You can't smell
the diarrhea in your pants?
Yeah,
there was some bad
smell
smelling.
anything in years.
Yeah, exactly. For when people smell bad.
I was saying like we were dressed like kind of each one of our kind of white people that we are. Is that Dave's dressed all trippy. You're just a little NASCAR.
Yeah, I've been playing NASCAR online a lot.
Josh NASCAR.
Dude, can I tell you my fun bit? My fun bit I've been doing playing NASCAR online is I don't talk into my microphone, but in between races sometimes, just because it's really funny to me, where there's all these rednecks going back and forth, like they're talking or they're like getting mad at each other because somebody wrecked somebody, and I'll put mine down and I'll act like I'm talking to like my girlfriend or somebody else, and I'll go, yeah, no, I'm just gonna do like one more race. Yeah, no, it's nothing, and then I'll go, no, it's just me and a bunch of fucking rednecks. And then, and then I'll say it, and they'll be like, who the fuck, hey, fuck you. And then people will freak out, dude. It makes me laugh every single fucking time.
And they reply in redneck.
And then I just don't even say anything. I just let them fucking keep going. Have a good time doing it, dude. So if you want to get your ass kicked at NASCAR online,
you think you get a let's
what's
go
your handle?
Chant?
Yeah,
sorry.
Oh, absolutely, dude. My online gamer tag is Bug Chaser 1.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what Bug Chaser is?
No.
Bug Chaser is a person in the gay community that has something going on with them, so they purposely go around to try to
try
to get AIDS.
Oh my god.
From somebody else. Bug Chasers. Google it.
Wow.
Welcome back to the Doorcast, everybody.
Wow.
That was the bug chaser corner of the podcast.
Like a sickness bug? Is that what it is?
Like AIDS.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
like a flu bug.
That's why I'm Bug Chaser 1. Because it implies there's another one out there somewhere.
But a lot of the WrestleMania guys that came that were solo, a lot of them were like normal and nice and good. Held it together for the most part. Didn't really kick out a lot of WrestleMania types.
They were pretty well behaved.
Everyone was just like kind of just talking.
Well, because you would have got the fucking big boot if you tried to push anybody out. They would have given you the fucking
They
rock
would have given you
bottom.
the people's elbow.
Yeah. Then
It's like kicking me out. What did you say?
well, the other night
I hate all of it. I hate wrestling.
We tried to kick out a group the other night. We were like
so
about
bad.
to, and they told security. They said, "All right," like they gave him like a final warning, and the guy said, "All right, well, if you come over here and try to kick us out, you may as well end this show because I'm going to show out."
And then show out.
It may basically mean he was going to make a big scene.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
That's kinda funny.
I kind of stepped. I've really become hands off in these last
Senioritis,
in this senioritis. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, in this senioritis type.
Yeah.
You seem to just be
Dave and I still
antagonizing
on it.
situations and then leaving
Oh,
them.
I will. I should now. Now I might just start trying to start some shit. See what happens. I'll go over to a guy and be like, "Hey, could you keep it down?" He'll be like, "We won't." And I'll be like, "Well, your bitch wife." And then he'll be like, "What?" And I'll be like, "Security."
Totally gaslight.
Yeah,
You know?
that'd be awesome.
Sure.
So, dude, enough WrestleMania. Enough. Of
I watched wrestling for the first time in 20 years
that's
on the TV.
The lie detector is going off the
I
chart.
haven't
believe
watched it in a long
I believe
time.
he doesn't have the patience or he is not seeking out WrestleMania. I believe that this is
It was on. We had the
Wow.
Peacock Premium, and so it was on.
Yeah.
Were you like, "Where's Andre the Giant?"
I was
Von
curious.
Where he was.
Pink's Hot Dogs. The line was around the corner. Guy was dressed as the Hulk. I just drove by. Guy dressed as the Hulk. Had the Hulk headband and the hair above
Hulk Hogan,
Hogan.
Yeah.
not Hulk Smash.
it. Yeah.
See, that was ultimate liberal coastal elite
Wait,
talk.
Hulk.
Yeah, you know that guy, the Hulk. No, it's Hollywood
said Hulk Hogan.
You said
Hollywood.
the Hulk. Piece of
Hulk,
shit.
dressed like the Hulk Hogan.
Enough wrestling talk. Let's get into the fucking meat of things, dude.
We got
What-
past.
All of us here in this room, except Katie. Sorry, just remember it. Yeah, shouting at. Yeah. You
takes-
okay? You came late today.
Use this as fuel.
That's why she's not passed. She came
Yeah.
late.
Ooh.
yeah.
That's the only
Who
reason.
out of
Yeah.
Quincy and Luke, who has been here the longest?
Quincy
I have
by-
been there like a year and a half.
How long
Sounds
did you work
right.
here?
2011.
Yeah.
Quincy's a phones
October,
guy, though,
so
dude.
like
He's in and
so
out.
like
He's-
basically 2012, October 2011.
When did you stop being a door guy?
I mean, it's not like I stopped.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut through that.
2017 when I came back, I no longer worked those shifts.
You work just phones?
Just phones. Well, what happened is a bunch of people were making mistakes on the phone, and I was the only one who didn't really make mistakes.
I made a bunch of mistakes on
Yeah.
the phone.
so they made me
I got
the
asked to not come back to work phones.
Yeah, there's multiple of
Very
those
sternly.
people.
Because people
I
would be
kept-
like, "Can we get a refund?"
I
And you'd be
missed-
like, "I don't know."
I mixed up lines all
Avails,
the time. I would
yeah.
get KT Tatara instead of Kirk Fox, and then I just call out KT Tatara all week, and then Kirk Fox got no spots. And
Yeah, because it's a
then
spreadsheet
Adam
and
was
it's
like,
easy
"What the
to.
fuck, man?
yeah.
That's you fucked it up." And I was like, "Yeah, I absolutely fucked it
Yeah.
up."
Yeah, he got
sorry.
he got
I'm
kicked off
sorry.
phones.
So-
Jay
so-
Light got kicked off phones.
That's
Like, one or
crazy.
two
You
other
guys
people
seem
got
like you'd
kicked
be
off.
two guys very with it. You
No,
and Jay
I
Light.
just couldn't do it.
Interesting. So then they had to
do
bring
the-
in you
the
and
office.
So it's like they made me
Jake,
the
ringer?
official guy. Yeah. So like I started taking care of the avails and the call outs. So I'm like the official guy who does that. And now it's great because
For years.
we have a Comedy Store phone, so it's no longer my personal line. So
Yeah, that's
that's
nice.
the greatest.
Do you ever get in any nasty spats with paid regulars over the phone?
Kinda, yeah, but I
What-
just I
what-
keep
what
it
kind?
cool.
What
I just
kind?
don't want to. Like, I mean, just people complaining mostly about not getting spots,
And they
then-
think you have something to do with it?
no, they think, yeah. It's like, what the? Why am I not getting spots?
Are you inputting it correctly?
I mean, I've messed up for sure. Yeah. I've messed up for sure.
I don't know what's your-
Yeah, Josh Martin hasn't been available for a year. Just kidding, just kidding, Josh. No, I mean, look, I've made mistakes too, but I double check and stuff like that. But people get, angry when they don't get spots, and then they started, and I'm just like, why are you telling me? You know, I don't have any power, I don't have any control. And honestly, some of them, and it has nothing to do, it's not like I think I'm funnier than them, it has to do with relevance. It's like they're not out anywhere else doing other spots, and then they call in and get angry, and I'm like, well, just go other places. Why are you putting all your eggs in this basket?
You tell them that?
Me and an old manager who used to work here were kind of talking, and then another comic was like, hey man, can you get me on again? And I was like, no, I can't get you on again. I got you like last time. Wait till your time comes around. He was like, what the hell?
On Potluck?
Yeah. And I was like, well, you gotta wait. It's a long time before I can get asked for a friends and family spot again for someone. Damn. I can't do like two in a row.
How recent was this?
This past couple of weeks.
Oh really?
Everyone, no one took offense in the whole exchange. Like, but it was just like kind of like, sorry man, I can't do that.
Yeah, someone keeps
like,
hitting me up.
I understand.
They want to hang out with me, and talk to me. I think about being a door guy because 5 of us just got passed, so there's going to be room.
There it is.
And so they're at least for the shows, maybe not for shifts right away. But either way, the point is like,
well, they need some.
They've had a bunch of opportunities, and they've had
a bunch of opportunities to get in.
No, they've been on the mic a bunch of times, and late spots specifically requested, and are not doing well.
To
and then
credit.
they want to like hit me up and ask me to have the same conversation again. I'm like, I don't have the energy for this anymore, man. It's like when you're ready, they'll tell you. Nothing I'm going to tell you is going to make you.
Yeah, I think
ready.
that's one of the things I feel like I've been able to do a good job of, especially trying to get in here. I knew how annoying some people were, and so like before I was in here, I was never like pushy about anything. I was kind of just like, all right, cool, yeah, all right. Like, I was
you
very
let your funny speak, right? That's it. Let your funny speak.
and then just like
Funny speech.
Let your funny speak.
no, I wouldn't have never got in here if it wasn't for the damn fucking set of the night open mic, dude.
Let your funny.
You would have
speak,
gotten in
bro.
here.
Maybe eventually,
yeah, of course
but
you
I mean,
would have.
That was that was the catalyst. That was
I mean,
I forgot about
no, I
the
mean,
set of the night open
Luke
mic.
and Lockwood both had put in for me, but then it was just like,
Oh, I vouched for you, but it was like you won that or whatever in front of. I mean,
yeah, I mean, like 7
people
times.
catch people in there are a couple guys that got hired because they had 2 good sets in a row on different potlucks, and people just happened to be in a hiring period and got.
You definitely get lucky.
I was one of those people. That's how I got in.
I definitely did not get lucky because it took me like a year and a half of like
Actively
patiently trying to get into action.
Give me a
Yeah,
job. I'm
but it was
Bruce.
also no. You came in before pandemic. That's right. But you came in under a good guy. Adam.
You
had
call
lot
it a
of fun.
pandemic?
He said prandemic.
Prandemic, yeah.
But
The
so
prandemic.
so it was nothing. So
Prondemic,
I misspoke.
yeah.
Prondemic
Wasn't
is the prawn night at Sizzler, dude.
Prandemic,
Dollar
yeah.
prawns.
Endless shrimp. Yeah.
Bottomless shrimp, baby.
Bottomless.
No, I got hired like September, October of
9/11.
of what's it called? Of
Great.
2019. But I mean,
Great
I
joke,
had
Dave.
done
My
the
bad.
Great joke, Dave.
I had done the what's it
Got hired
called?
at 9/11.
Yeah, that was his closer for his showcase.
I can tell you right now, dude.
America. 420.
Yeah, sure. 6911. Yeah, got it.
I had done the fucking like had come in like Luke and Lockwood both like vouched for me, and like I was like friends with like most of the other door guys, and then like I got in, I like went up a few like did like a door guy showcase thing like a few times, and then like one time they hired Ali Mack, and I was like, oh, that's fine, that's cool, like, and then they hired Lionel Dalton, and I was like, oh, that sucks. I wish that was me instead. And then
That should be on the Patreon.
I don't know anything about Lionel Dalton. I just know that he got hired one time instead of
Yeah,
me.
sure, right.
And then I forget. I think one other person had gotten hired instead of me. And then I was kind of like, whatever, fucking them. I'm kind of not over it, but I was like, I've done this a few times. And then there was the other time. I think I've probably told this story on this podcast where I had probably done 3 or 4 of those showcases, and then Adam was like, all right, cool, come back next Monday. And then in that week was when Brody passed away. So then I came back the next week. Adam had told me to, and I came back the next week, and I was like, hey, man. And he was like, yeah, hey.
We were all pretty shaken.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
and so were you. Yeah,
Of course, but I was just like, hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
I want a job still.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, how's it going, man? He was like, because this was February of 2019, I think, and I was like, hey, he had said come back, and he goes, yeah. He goes, did I? And I went, oh yeah, yeah. And then I was about to be like, but it's okay. He goes, yeah, I remember. Yeah, you do the Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra
You do the
bit.
Frank Sinatra
So
bit,
funny.
which
He
is
calls
Simon.
you on the-
is Simon Gibson. And I've told this story to Simon Gibson a million times. We laugh,
great.
but I was like, I literally went, no, that's Simon Gibson. And then he went, oh, yeah, I mean, okay, go check in. And I, of course, bombed my ass up because I was like, nobody.
Dude,
He doesn't even
trying
love
to do
me.
shtick that.
I was like,
yeah,
nobody
of
wants to
course.
fucking.
Stick a
Want
lick.
to hear about Luke's first time here? I remember.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Luke's
Sorry,
My
last
very
thing.
first
I
time?
got
I don't know if
hired.
he very first.
One
I
of
got
first
hired September 30th, 2019, because that was after I had done all those things. And I was like, fuck this. And then I went up a few months later on Potluck and was leaving. And I knew that Derek and Assam were leaving until I had a good set. And Adam was like, good set. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Still want to work here if that's whatever. And he was like, all right, cool. Yeah, whatever. And then like literally months later, I get a message from Quincy, 2:20 p.m. on September 30th. I remember I had just gotten off
Wow.
my
an old
job
phone.
that's on Facebook. At All About the Bread, and I was like, everything fucking sucks. This is fucking, like, everything is, I was furious. I was just like, everything is bullshit. This fucking deli is bullshit. And I was laying on my shit bed and fucking got a thing from Quincy. Hey, Adam wants to know if you can come in at 7:30 today. And I said, yeah, no problem. And then the next thing after that is 3 weeks later. It's a Thursday, crack 'em up belly room development spot. At 7:30.
Yeah, that's in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've done a few of those crack 'em up.
I want to hear about Luke's first day.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really kind of uneventful, but it's like typical Luke. Like the first time I remember seeing him, he got first on the open mic, right? He was first on the list.
Nice.
And
Was it because you were Luke Crazy Leg Shorts? That's really like cool name.
and this is before. Okay, so now guys, Potluck is great. They sell it like a regular
first.
show. They open it up. They open the doors 15 minutes in advance. So if you're the first comic, you have like 30 audience members in there, seated, ready to go. When Luke did it, when I first did it, it was like you maybe had 3 audience members.
They open the door at the same time they start the show.
Exactly.
Which
So
I love.
literally, you maybe had 2 or 3
It's-
people.
It's how it should be.
Fire.
Yeah.
It's you're in. You're on.
Yeah,
it
going
sucks.
going first at Potluck back then, you truly may as well not have gone.
Well, that's the thing. So it's like, and it sucked, right? And then I was working cover booth, and Luke does a set, and he walks by, and I was like, "Hey, man, that was a really good set. You know, you get a first spot, but it was really tough." And he goes, and he just leaves, and I'm like, "That's completely Luke right there." It's like
Yeah.
I just
I
complimented
was
the guy,
right.
told me it's a good spot, and he was, I'm like, "All right, that's
Sounds
great."
right to me.
And then he got a job like without Tommy even seeing him. Tommy was the talent coordinator at the time. Tommy
Yeah,
didn't even
that's
see him,
right.
and he got hired.
Tommy
as a
just
door
goes, I get that you're funny. Okay.
guy. Oh, I told Tommy he was
And then
funny
he-
too, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quincy.
Quincy.
I mean, I'm not saying it was
Quincy,
me.
and Garza, Quincy Garza and Lucas Hurl put in for me.
Yeah, I was like, he went up first on the mic. He had a really good set. It was funny.
And
Just
then
so you know.
Lucas saw me upstairs in the belly. He says, according to him, I'm the only guy he's ever vouched for, which feels like a very Lucas story. You know, like you're
Yeah,
the only
man.
one that's ever.
Yeah.
He's so strong. He only has
Yeah.
one of everything. He's so severe. You know,
He's a minimalist.
This is the first belt I ever owned, and I've only ever owned this belt. You're the
I-
only door
yeah,
guy I've
I
ever
grew the
vouched
calf
for.
that this leather
Go
is made
fuck
out
yeah,
of.
Lucas. Thank you, man.
We're gonna find out one day that Lucas is like from New York City. He's been lying about this fucking Iowa bullshit.
Yeah, like when you watch King of the Hill, like when
Yeah,
Hank
yeah.
found out he
Oh,
was born in New York.
yeah,
He's like, I tried a bagel and it was good. Anyways,
That's an all-time show.
yeah.
How we doing?
How'd you get hired here, Quincy?
How did I get hired? Doing the mic.
How we do it?
Yeah, exactly. I was doing the mic. This is when they had Sunday and Monday potluck,
J Mandium.
and so
It was like
I would,
89,
J
What do you mean?
Mandium era.
1989.
yeah, 1989. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Quincy's afro was big.
exactly.
Disco
Yeah,
Quincy.
Actually, I had
was a
Afro
different
puffs at that time. Yeah, it was.
Uncle Levi was on the mic with you.
Yeah, he was a
Yo,
host.
the
He
new
was
young
hosting
kid
pod-
in town.
I used to go by Big Q.
Yeah. Cool, yeah, cool, cute.
Of course, there was only one room
cute.
here,
Curly
right?
cute.
Yeah.
Black power
Yeah.
pick in your hair. Yeah. And so you were doing the mic and J-Man. Oh,
Right there,
oh my God, it
With
is
the
a black
fist,
power
baby.
pick. That's
You know
so
what?
fucking
Fist pick, yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Keep
yeah.
it in, dude. Keep
Yeah,
it
here
in.
we
Let's go.
Damn.
That's so funny.
Got more soul than the pick with the fist. They used to do 2, and they used to do Sunday and Monday, and you wanted to get on Sunday because it was a bigger audience, right? So I used to get Sunday a lot because I was doing okay. Ebo, you guys remember Ebo Brewer?
I
He's
do.
still around.
So Tommy,
He's a superhero now.
This is what Tommy did. Tommy would say he would put like a category. So for instance, Aziz and Jay Mandiam. He's like, well, I'm gonna go with Jay instead of Aziz. So like Jay was gonna be the Indian comic. So if you're a funny Indian comic, it's like your chances of getting in or being
Is
a door
that
guy at
actually
the store.
true that he went with Jay instead of Aziz, or you're
He told
paraphrasing?
Jay that. Yeah. Well, I like you, Jake. Eh? Anyway, so Ebo got fired, and then I got the job here because I was another big black dude. So Ebo got fired, and I started working phones when Aristotle was fired because he used to always go to auditions and he'd just leave his phone shift.
Did Aristotle work here?
He was a phone guy for a
didn't know
minute.
that.
Yeah, him and Rick Glassman
For
too. Yeah.
a year.
Rick Glassman did too?
Yeah,
Interesting.
both of them worked like 1 3-hour shift a week or something like that, 1 or 2.
Oh, just phones?
Yeah, just phones. No, they're prima donnas. Nothing against them, but it's like they weren't working the door. You know what I mean? They weren't working lot. They weren't working things where they have to get their hands dirty.
You say that. I like how you say that as a phones only guy.
Yeah,
Unlike me.
I worked it all, baby. I was a lot guy. Yeah. That was my thing. But yeah, that's how I got hired. Tommy hired me back then. So
How'd you get hired, Dave? You came in on a weekday in the afternoon and applied.
yeah, exactly.
My old roommate Mitch Burrow.
Oh yeah, Mitch worked here first.
Mitch, R.I.P.
And then I
Big
saw Luke
shout
at
out.
a show, and
He's doing great.
It's a door guy, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Sure.
And then I was like, man, I need a job. And then I told Adam, and he goes, "You sure?" And I go, "Man, I'm asking." He goes, "All right." And then that was just pretty much it.
That's very funny. You and Adam having a conversation is very funny because you're like, "Come on," and he's like, I don't
Very
know.
funny.
Man.
I don't
Hell
have
yeah.
a response though.
You and Mitch were like the Mark
We were like
was
the
the
Bash
country
Brothers.
boys.
Mark McGuire,
just
Jose
the good
Canseco.
old
Yeah, you
boys.
guys are the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, sure.
You're driving Mitch's Jeep up the side of the
I mean, when
fucking
he had that
wall.
Jeep, it was fun to go with.
Yeah, he had a
Dave
Jeep.
reaching for his big gulp cup. It's falling out the window.
Mitch's license plate 4x4 bra.
4x4, brah.
It's better
And
than
it took us a while to come up with that
4x4, bro.
because there's
Yeah, 7. It's good 7.
the vanity license plates. So many of them are taken, so we had to really come up with a
It's
combo
great.
that worked.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there was-
understand that vanity plates. You have to think of interesting ways to arrange
can't-
letters.
4x4, bro.
Yeah, no, I understand. And he was driving a Jeep 4x4.
I can't believe
I get what you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I can't believe
Amazing guy.
Can't believe I can't believe I roast wasn't taken when Tony got that. Wasn't that awesome?
But
no holds
I
barred.
see a bad license plate, and then I see that person at the DMV going, okay, what? Just like nervously filling out the form and then like picking.
It's like
Pig
4x4.
shit with a 1 instead of an I. yeah.
2 ones.
Yeah.
B1. I saw one time 867-5309. That was a fun one to see.
You know, there's like license plate freaks and like license plate conventions and shit, right?
I'm sure. That sounds great.
Because there's rare license plates. You know,
There's
you get
all
someone with
sorts
just
of
a
different types
4.
of
I saw
autism.
California poop. I saw poop in the middle.
That's pretty nice.
That was in a parking lot.
I saw one yesterday. It was a Tesla that said DRKCMDY, dark comedy.
Dark comedy.
I was like, that's pretty fun. I don't know who it was.
Oh, I saw one that was stand up, but it was like STNDUP.
Well, you know, do you know
like that.
Dane Cooks, right?
Mic drop.
Mic drop, dude.
Is that really?
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking loser.
I think Dan Cook's great, and I disavow Bruce's
Yeah.
previous statement.
I heard his license plate said, "You're not
He's
18,
the great
are you?"
and terrible Dane Cook. He's amazing. He one time, oh man,
Yeah,
I've told
Julia's
this story.
license plate is NC-17. Let's go.
That's a better
We're
version
fucking
of
with
what I
that.
Dude, follow on the Patreon for more of this.
Luke, who's taking this
Keep my
over,
kid in
man?
diapers. I think I have the main candidate. I've probably said it on here before, but it's
You're grooming somebody?
I haven't
You're
heard.
grooming
If you
him?
don't mind, who?
Chap alone.
Oh, because they do want to. Well, him and
He's already
Julia.
got a podcast,
He's
though.
kind of my guy, which is I know why he can like do it, and he
But he'll be like,
Who's
"Oh,
the
I
new
got-
captain?
he likes
Who's the
to
new
talk
captain,
about-
dude?
I think him as well.
No way,
I like
dude.
him hand. Yeah,
You gotta go. You gotta co-captain.
And
it,
like,
dude. It's
and
too
you
much.
know, I'm-
too much responsibility
And I'm
for
down
one man.
to leave it up for debate. I might have him on plus Hannah and Joe Marisi and talk about.
I have a
the
new
next captain.
I have a new
'cause
captain.
I think it was them.
I have a
Who?
new captain suggestion, dude.
Yeah, who?
Is it going to lead into an impersonation? Because that would be
no,
great.
I could not.
The reason I should be.
Let's go.
That's Merv.
Oh, that's Merv. I was like, who? Oh yeah,
That's Merv.
Alex Young and Chap should be the co-captains, dude.
Yeah, Alex is on the ball for sure.
I believe that.
I
Yeah,
think
that,
Joe
that makes a lot
Or
of
the
sense.
the Alexes.
Who's going to be on the open
Co-captain.
mic crew? Like the open
That's
mic.
interesting.
Yeah.
Co-captains.
Co-captains the
Alexes.
Alexes, dude.
And just, yeah.
What about the open mic crew?
What about the
I don't
open
want to
mic?
be captain.
You know, like the
Bruce.
the group text that we sent to curate the list.
Yeah, I guess.
Quote, I don't know
I
what
guess
you're
I'll-
talking
Yeah,
about.
no, we don't choose the names. We just try to find
Joe
people on
Marisi
and see if we
channels,
recognize
wrote
anyone
it
on
to
there.
me.
Yeah.
I think that you should bring in for the open mic crew should probably be Cooper. I think is more in touch with
The streets.
what's going
Yeah.
on in the
Cooper
open,
and Willie
open mic
Simon
world.
is who I was thinking.
Yeah, I
Those
think
two-
that's
Great,
not a bad
too.
idea.
Really great, too.
Yeah, because Willie hosts the improv mic, I believe. So he knows
I don't think he still
Sometimes.
does.
Oh, sometimes. Okay.
He's moved on.
He's still, I mean, more recent than any of us have been open.
Yeah,
They're
but-
on the streets.
Cooper's on the streets. Hannah's on the streets a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Cooper mostly.
Hannah's on the streets a little bit.
Cooper's on the streets, dude. He's
Yeah.
out there. He's
Yeah.
Yeah, Cooper's pounding the pavement.
Cooper's at gay warehouse parties.
Yeah. I think that's a good combination.
looking
actually,
for
those
new
two.
open mics.
Yeah. 'Cause Cooper's a little excitable. Hannah's so mellow.
Dude, let's talk this is very funny.
Is it an impersonation? Because I love those.
Yeah, but you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
Is it me? Yeah.
What does no cap mean, guys? Sorry, I wish
no,
I could have
whenever...
I didn't know what no cap meant.
Right. That's
Dude, still the
understandable.
funniest thing is
Understandable.
there was a meeting probably a year ago now before Sam started working here every night, and they kept being like they were like Sam Creed, Samantha, Sam, Samantha, Sam, Samantha,
You want-
Sam,
yeah.
Sam, all this in the meeting, and then it's quiet, and then Dave raises his hand. He's in the very back of the main room for some reason, and he goes, "Who is Samantha?" And she was over there. She's like, "Hi, I'm Samantha."
I didn't know who that person was. Nobody told me this place. All of a sudden, somebody's here one day, and then they're like, "Yeah, that person's always been here." I go,
That's happened to me
I
a
don't
few
know if
times
that's
too.
true.
They've been here every day for
She
years.
used to work upstairs during the day, and
I'm not an upstairs day guy.
I understand.
You're a
And-
downstairs night guy.
But
she
she
was
did
what's the name's
start
of
suddenly just work here
Yeah.
at night.
She was Michael. What's his
Michael
name?
Nathanson?
Nathanson's assistant. Yeah, and then she just
times.
transitioned to like human resources / whatever. You know, because Peter has his own
She's a
assistant.
good. I like.
Oh, she's
No,
great.
Sam
like-
rocks.
Sam is.
She's very
the
good at her
greatest.
job.
Now I know who she is.
Yeah.
And it was a good question to ask. I wasn't alone in that. I bet you there were other people that didn't know who Sam was.
But how about Dave's anticlimactic way of finding out he got passed?
Well, I forget. Are you talking about in the
He
tech?
went to Minnesota and fell asleep.
Dave was asleep
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and missed Emily's call. And
Oh
we-
yeah,
I had
Emily's
like five
like
missed
7
calls.
calls.
We all,
Emily.
we all got tired of waiting, and so we just
We just-
fucking
everyone just started
everyone just
talking
went
about
public
it.
in the thing, and Matt went public in the group chat with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, shit. I literally said, I was like, dude, Dave doesn't know yet. He's asleep. Like Dave is gonna find out literally. Did you find out in the group chat?
I woke up and was just like,
The
well,
phone-
hey,
I
I
think-
woke up. You know, if you ever stay up all night and then you fall asleep in the day, you wake up and you're like, what day is it? And like I was that energy and it was bright out and I was like, oh, what's happening?
Not a lot. No.
Well, if you get out there on the road,
You have a glass bottle of
What
Coke next to your
day is
table.
it?
No, you're
Like
good,
a,
man.
a
That's calm, yeah.
detective who wakes up and pounds some whiskey. Dave wakes up, he has a glass
I
bottle of
wake up
Diet
in a
Coke.
strange hotel room. I'm like, what is happening?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Totally. Yeah.
My flight was
Absolutely.
at 5 in the morning, man, and
Oh,
so
my
I
God.
flew all and then got there, fell asleep, just passed out.
So
And then
how did you find out? How'd you find
I
out?
looked at my phone. I was like, I must have got passed. That's all these fucking messages. And then Emily, there was like 5 missed calls.
Did you call Emily before you looked at the group chat?
Be so funny if you
I
didn't
called.
get
I
past.
just saw the group chats I knew, and then I called her, and then she was like, "Hold on, I'm in the canyon," and I'm like, "All right." And then
in the
called me
canyon.
back, and then I had to act surprised. I was like, oh.
Hey, Emily, what's up?
I was like, I just woke up, and she was crazy, whatever time it was.
It's 3 in the morning. Yeah, the worst
Dave's
was
on stage. He wakes up.
Emily. Did she hit both of you guys with the Ryan Seacrest about to go to commercial energy? Or she called me and she goes, "What's funny because I was doing dishes.
Yeah, she did low and then.
I was doing the
Hi, you got it.
I was doing
Yeah.
the dishes and I had my AirPods in, and so I like hit it. I was like, "Hold on, I got it. Wait, hold on." Like I was like trying to get my AirPods.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she goes, "Hey, just wanted to talk to you
Yep.
about Wednesday."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then she was like, "You were
did
great.
so great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, why did you? Why? Like, it literally was
She
like,
was being funny.
Yeah, yeah.
man.
I know I had it when I got.
She really, but yeah, she did the same
kid-
shtick with me. She had her Comedy Store bits down. She's doing bits.
She's like, you are supposed to work tomorrow.
Because I
think
need
I'm gonna make
tell you
Yeah.
the permanent
When
award
you-
booth guy. Like,
You are past the point of right. You know, just like,
yeah,
God damn it, just say it.
But
Yeah.
she would say like we've passed over and over, and we've seen that you could maybe sorry, I did a riff too long, and you weren't with me.
I was very in tune because I was curious what she said. Because whenever she told me, I talked to her, I was like, "Did you already?" Because she was like, "I passed everybody." She's like, "It was like great. You this paid regular, this that," and I was like, "Oh wow, nice." She goes, "Yeah, I passed everybody," and I was like, "That's great news." I was like, and she was like, "Don't." She's like, "I haven't called Luke yet." Well, she said, "Dave didn't answer, and I have to call Luke now."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she bookended Luke and I.
I answered it.
What were you doing?
I was in the parking lot of Whole Foods.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the call I've been waiting for.
Yeah, it was.
It was
for
like
Luke,
a Hollywood moment.
for Luke, it was like that scene in Pursuit of Happiness where he's just at the bus stop, walking through the crowd.
Flow clap.
Yeah.
yeah, tugging my big typewriter behind me.
Yeah, tugging your penis in
There's
the
an
car.
X- X-ray machine, wasn't it?
Great.
Were you at the Whole Foods on 3rd and Fairfax?
That's right.
Oh, dude, hit me up. I'll come by with you.
You know who likes that Whole Foods?
Who?
Dean Del Rey.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I saw Tom Rhodes there the other week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love this Whole Foods.
Hey, man.
You know I can get into this Whole Foods?
Hey, Luke.
I can get a
You know they got a pizza bar. That's what I'm trying to do. Tom Rhodes. It's
Pizza
not- it's not-
bar. You got it. He's got his
You don't have
arms
a pizza
flapping.
bar.
Yeah.
in
Tom
the-
Rhodes sounds like Fury, but somebody's squeezing him.
That's a good impression. It's just like saying what he sounds like. I can't do it, but he sounds like.
Dude, they got
Did everyone's stomach drop when they got the call? When they saw her calling?
when I saw it was Emily, I was more like, fuck, yeah, a little bit like, okay. And I was like, I did take a second to be like, gather. And then I
Well,
answered.
because for you two and Matt also, it was like your first time. But like Emily, okay, so before she was talent coordinator, she's booked at La Jolla. She was talent coordinator for La Jolla. So I worked with her for a couple of years. So we're
Valley
actually
Room and Main Room.
yeah, so we're actually friends, right? We're actually friends, and I have to get
Emily
the
calls you and you're like expecting it to be the paid regular thing. She's like, hey, Quincy, you are supposed to have the lineup done already.
Did I get that email? Can you bounce it again into my inbox?
Well, I just felt the worst because she's my friend, and I'm like, because we had the first conversation where I didn't get past.
Did she call you guys same thing?
Yeah,
yeah.
to say no. And so-
Was it the same energy?
And I think I remember Jen calling right after and going, "I'm so sorry," and I was like, "Yeah, okay."
Really?
Was she like,
Didn't feel great.
You are going to
Be
continue
fine. You're gonna be
working the
fine.
door. Yeah.
Breathe.
Do you like it this way, or did you like it Adam's Mystery, where he just would be like, hey, "You're passed," and there was no showcase. It was just
There were still showcases sometimes, but there was
it was just like-
also somewhere it would just be like, "Hey, you're pressed."
yeah, he did like I think maybe one.
I don't know.
Or
He
two.
did showcases.
He
and
definitely
stuff.
did showcases.
He didn't do
I
a
did-
form.
I
He
did a
did.
showcase
He did a
for him.
formal one like once, I believe.
I
do you
did
mean?
that.
Yeah.
What do you mean a formal one?
Like a formal one where you went on like what we did. We went on the OR lineup. Like
I
what
think
we
he
all
did that a few times. No.
No,
Yeah.
not a few. Did he do a few?
He did a handful of times.
But I felt like when I got hired, he would just pass a group of people.
Exactly.
Every
I remember
other
the
year-
first one he did
every-
was Kyle Ray was on it, and he made Kyle Ray follow Rick Ingram, which I was like, why would you make someone?
Didn't you have to follow Rick on the
Yeah,
last-
my first one too, but I just sucked because I sucked. It wasn't.
Yeah. He used to make people follow Rick though to see if you
Yeah.
could hang, because that's the hardest follow.
It really is.
He made Luke. They made Luke follow Mark Maron on this one. That was a setup. Dude.
Yeah, I know,
That was a
right?
setup,
That was a
dude.
total setup.
Felt great. Felt like a setup. And you could curate a comedy show. How about that? But
I had to follow Dave. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Matt Lockwood followed Bobby Lee, and
Yes,
Bobby
Matt.
said, oh my God, they passed this guy. I'm so proud of him. He
he
really
gave him like a
earned
big
it.
intro?
He earned it, and he got it, and he's here, and he's a paid regular. Give it up for Matt Lockwood, and then he just absolutely crushed, but he didn't say anything. He obviously
That's
didn't
so
correct him. He just like, whatever. Bobby said the thing and absolutely destroyed. That was cool.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
It would be funny if Matt was like, "No, this is my showcase," and everyone's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Fuck you!" And he's like loses his mind completely because of that intro from Bobby.
Yeah, Matt had the tougher spot of me and him for sure. Following Bobby, Jesus Christ. Yeah,
I don't know. I thought he got served up on a platter there.
I'm just saying, and he has to follow. I have to follow Matt. Not that Matt isn't funny. Matt's hilarious, but I'm saying he had to follow.
He had to
Bobby
follow
Lee.
the guy everybody came to see.
Yeah, he had to follow a name, a marquee name, literally.
People are like, I'm a piss.
Yeah, if you follow a
Bobby-
marquee name, all you do is your A shit, and people are like, oh, he could do comedy.
Imagine
too.
if
Yeah.
Bobby
Because
had.
if you carry that shit, you can like pretend.
I like that
you're
guy I
an
didn't
A.
know.
Yeah, he goes,
Yeah.
you're my favorite actually tonight. I got a couple of those the other night. You are actually my favorite. Everyone gets it every night. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine Bobby doesn't show
Double
up on,
cuties
on
to
that
him.
night, and so then Lockwood has to. You and Lockwood get thrusted up there, and it's everyone just being like, "What the fuck? Bobby was supposed to be on right now."
Yeah, not even that. What if it's like? What if there was a fallout instead?
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's see, we have Josh Martin.
Yeah, dude. So
So, are you going to do some impressions or what? Man? What the fuck?
That's all Dave's been asking for the entire
Dave,
time.
what do you want?
I want maybe if Dean Del Rey had to talk to Argus about something.
He wants you to do a puppet show. He wants you to do an audio play.
Yeah,
Argus and Dean bumping into each other at Whole Foods. Is that doing What the fuck is papaya? Yeah, buddy, I used to do my grocery shopping down on on 3rd Avenue, and it was when the streetcar was still around. I was at Gower Gulch. It was me, Willie, Tyler, and Lester. And does that do it for
Are
you?
those three different dudes? Willie,
In
Tyler,
his mind,
and Lester.
in his mind, it was Willie, Tyler,
No, it's three
and
different guys.
Lester.
Yeah.
Not Lester,
Willie, Tyler.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so
That was a lot of fun. It made me glad I came today.
that one.
My first day
Dave
here,
is so mean to me. Dave is so mean to me.
mean to you, man.
No,
You-
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Dave sounded like he had a counterpoint.
My first day here, I saw Dennis Quaid, and
Here?
yeah, I was in the back area where people drink that are famous.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go in there and have a drink, and then all of a sudden I sit down, and the next to me was Dennis Quaid. I was like,
Very cool.
holy fuck!
And you're like, hey, you're the motherfucker who took the Constitution. Yeah, put that back. Hey, not yours.
Put it back.
Did you say anything?
Gotcha.
No, I asked him if he had that radio that he could talk to the past.
You asked him that.
I said, you still got that
suck.
radio you can talk to the past with? Do you have that frequency
That's
still?
awful.
Why is it Lockwood
So
here?
rude.
And was he's like, it's funny because I imagine him back
He
there
works
drinking like a guy at a bar, like drowning his sorrows. Like he's like looking down, and you're like, you still got that radio, man?
He wants to be like cool in the back of a comedy store,
Oh,
like
my God.
speakeasy
I didn't
vibes.
say
Like,
that.
I'd be
hey,
so
I know
mad.
the one thing.
If I was him, I would kill you.
I didn't say anything to
he
him.
said I would kill you.
I asked him how his crazy brother was doing, and no.
Oh, Randy?
Did you actually?
I didn't say anything to
Hey,
him. I
great.
go, oh man, that guy's famous. That's all I did. I didn't
That's
say it out
great.
loud.
I
Hey,
love
you're
it.
cool, but I like Randy.
Randy's makes some good points.
He's the one that's talking to the people. Yeah.
He's got the truth out.
Where were you at whenever Emily called you, Quincy?
Actually, she called me around noon.
She called you on the work phone?
Yeah, exactly. I just
Quincy.
woke up actually, and then I was just kind of laying in bed for a couple minutes, and then the call came, and I saw, and I was like, oh man, here we go. And I just took it like a deep breath, and it's like, let's do it. Let's find out. But I
Laying
think
in bed, huh?
I think I knew it was good just because I felt better about it. But
Do
also,
you have your shirt on?
I don't remember.
Pants on?
No, I definitely didn't have pants on. I slept in my underwear.
Yeah, that would
I think I knew it was good
Do you
news
sleep-
though,
you
because
said you
last time it
sleep
was
in-
a following week that she called, and this time she called
days
relatively
later.
quickly. Yeah, so
I think the
Do
only
you sleep
solace.
in a t-shirt and nothing and naked?
I like
you're in a
I go
pool.
Winnie the Pooh style.
no,
dude.
I don't
sometimes.
like
Do you-
sleeping naked.
I love Winnie the Pooh
It
style.
feels weird. I feel like something's gonna happen to my dick if I'm naked. Like something is
Absolutely
weird. So
I gotta be clothed.
yeah, so I have
crazy.
underwear on, but I
Crazy.
don't like. I
Bit
can't
by
wear
a
socks
bug or
to
something?
I wear a
bed.
full suit. To bed.
Yeah, you wear a nightcap. Yeah.
I wear sleeping shoes.
Yeah.
No, who's getting called?
It's Emily. She's unpassing
Hugo's
you.
calling me.
Emily's unpassing you.
I'm gonna tell Hugo he's passed. No.
Oh, I answered him. Bruce
Hello?
will do one of his impersonations.
Hey man, what's up, man? It's Dave Waite. We're doing the podcast downstairs right now, so we can't get up there.
Say something.
Hey, we're sending somebody else.
Say Mervis. Do Mervis now.
No, it's Dave Waite.
Do Mervis now.
Hey, what's up? Coachella. He hung up.
You ever met a wizard?
No, dude. So then,
I'm not gonna open it.
no.
She went.
She went.
Thank you, Katie.
Wow. So funny.
Interesting. And so were you? I think the only solace I had in all of it is like the week leading up to the showcase is obviously very stressful and whatever else, but like eventually I think I got in the right headspace of like, oh, the hardest part is whatever, like getting to, dude, Arsenio Hall is here. Arsenio Hall. No, the hardest part of the whole thing.
Racial, if not racist. But
Why?
yeah,
They look
hey.
exactly the same. I got into the right headspace of like, oh, the hardest part is getting to this point, and the easiest part is doing the comedy, like doing the showcase. Like you're getting propped up and you're getting thrown on in the hottest room at the hottest time. Like that's.
When did like your?
I had like a bad follow. Like the whole night was off. The first time I showcased for Emily, it was not a good night. No one did well.
Yeah,
And
even the showcases before the first night showcase,
and I thought I did.
It was a
pretty
weird
well.
energy.
I thought I matched the caliber of the show that night. I tried to do my stuff, and I riffed a little bit and had a pretty good riff with an audience member.
Everyone's a customer to you.
Hey,
dude.
Customer audience
dude,
member.
I think I got into the zone of feeling like, oh, this is the easiest part. Now it's like, just have to do what it is that I do, kind of thing.
Were you in the gray zone?
I was in the gray zone, dude. I was in the danger zone.
I was. Okay, so my whole mentality lately has been like, fuck this.
His name's
that
Bruce
a
Gray.
thing?
I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna, because every time I've put so much pressure on myself, then I end up like freezing on
I mean,
stage.
that's what happened. That's when I finally got hired here, the showcase I had, I was like, fuck this. I'm annoyed at how long this has taken and how many times this has had to do. I'm over it. And then I went and had a great set, and Adam was like, go talk to Curtis.
And that's basically the same thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm done with all this. Like, I'm more worried about getting spots outside of here than here. But I will say this all day, because I worked earlier that day. So I was here at work all day. Felt fine until Matt went on in front of me. And not even seeing him perform, just when they announced his name, it hit me like a ton of bricks, dude. It was like I had to do like therapy breathing. I started getting crazy, like shortness of breath. I'm like, oh no, I've been fine all day. 10 minutes before I'm going on, I'm having this panic attack.
See,
real quick,
I
dude.
had more like I had a like the quick foot thing where you're going up and down.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I had more.
Oh, that's a real feeling.
That
Your
was
knee is
more
bouncing.
of a.
Like, holy shit.
By the time I got to there, because this was like whenever, like especially whenever Luke had got on, I was like, all right, fuck yeah. That was more of a Lemmy Adam thing rather than like shit.
Oh, it's like you're
I
ready,
think
like, let's
I
go.
had done all the panic in my head the entire week, but then also after the set and the two, because it was Friday, so that mine was on Wednesday. So then like Thursday, Friday, before Emily had called me, I was just like, I know that it went as well as it could have possibly gone, and I know I did as good as I could have possibly have done. And like, if for some reason they call me and they're like, hey, we're not gonna do it, I can still be like, oh, I mean, I did
can
everything.
feel good
I
about
did
what
everything
you-
I could do in
Yes.
the moment. Like,
Yeah.
if I went up and had like a weird set or like something was off, I would be completely furious with myself. But I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it went exactly as like I wanted it to go. And so it's like,
Now, I filmed a TV thing earlier in the day, so I was like, dog, I'm on TV again. All right.
we're back.
What was the shittiest part and what was the best part of your showcase? Dave, you start.
best part and shittiest part?
Shittiest part for me was Luke was up 2 before me, and the mic started buzzing at the end of Marin's set right before Luke went on.
Oh,
It didn't buzz through mine.
It didn't buzz through mine, or it didn't buzz through anybody's.
because I think
Comedy
we
God.
plugged
But
it up.
And
I plugged. No, I just like.
it started buzzing hard for Mark, and that was the
I
only
worked
time.
the room for so long that I know how to hold the.
That was
fucking
the
mic.
only
I see
time
the
where
problem.
I got psyched out for half a second because I was like, oh, I wasn't even considering any outside interference in this
Yeah, yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
There was definitely, I thought, what if I go bomb? Did anybody think that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, but I think I was more in the zone of like, I will not let a bomb happen.
Yeah, I've done well enough so many times frequently that I'm like, I'm not worried about bombing.
The room is
But
hot.
this time
It's the
I did
hottest
feel
time of
very
night.
calm. I felt very calm this time. I felt
Yeah.
very
too,
good.
buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I went
Dave,
in.
what about you? What like you?
I felt nervous for once.
What was the best part though? What was the worst part?
The best part, I think there was some guy was on his phone, and I go, "Hey man, get off your phone! I'm fucking crushing."
Yeah, but you got like an applause break from saying that because Luke and Dave both crushed before me, and like I was in the zone more of like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because we're all actually friends and whatever else, but whenever it was like that, there was no part of me that was like, oh, if they bomb and I do good, it means I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Like I was literally like, oh, they're both crushing. This is great because that's gonna set me up to also crush. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I did like 2.5 minutes of crowd work in the thing.
I'm glad we all got
off top. Like it was. And
It's
then
a tough energy. You got to reset. I understand.
Yeah, you were 2 in front, and I was like, I got to distance myself from that guy.
It's just too much like boom, boom, boom. They're hitting the best like 10 minutes any of us could come up with.
But also, it was one of those sets too where like that was going super. The crowd work was crushing, and I was like, nice. I was like, once I transitioned into this, and then I did my first bit, and that crushed, and I was like, oh baby. That was like I remember literally feeling in the zone to a point after like the first half of the first bit actually crushes where I was like, "Fucking,
It's done.
It's on.
It's
like,
on.
It's
Right.
on." And literally,
Was it the unicycle bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I,
It's
like
such a great bit.
Yeah, and I was like, when I was like, literally in my head, I was like, oh, if that's getting that reaction,
Yeah.
the rest of this is going to get
Can't
a
wait
very.
to hear my good jokes.
But also,
whole
I
set.
That's a great joke.
I got the light, and I had planned probably 2 or 3 bits beyond what I was currently doing. The bit I was doing, like I was technically like in the middle of the
Sure.
set list I was doing, but I was like in the middle of it, so I kind of like barely even a little bit slowed down the ending of that bit, and then it like got a huge reaction, and I was like, all right, guys, it's been good. Like I think I probably ended up, as far as comedy goes, I probably maybe did 9 minutes.
I
gotcha.
think,
And then I did like a long intro for Rick because I
I
was like,
know
this guy
that
fucking rocks.
I was the closest to 10 minutes, and Luke went over, and you went under.
I did.
Oh, I'm sure I went over. I probably did. I don't think I did 11.
But I had
I
planned on
did
going
11:20. I looked at mine. When I
I
was
planned
done.
on
did I
going
do
on.
11, Dave?
I
you
know
remember?
that I was
Tell
the
me.
closest to 10.
You didn't
and
record
Bruce
your set?
did 8, and you did maybe
No,
11.
I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't
I-
record things. My hot ass wife gets so mad at me that I don't take pictures.
Well, I mean, the recording
we'll
of
go on
your set
vacation,
is like-
and my phone is in my pocket because I'm looking at
I have
shit.
the showcase
Like,
lineup
take
at
a
home.
picture of me. I'm like, you're right. Sorry. my bad.
I have the showcase. I took the showcase lineup.
I'm
bro.
just glad we all got
I don't
past.
do
Right?
that.
See, look
so
at
we don't
that.
have that weird, awkward
I don't
energy.
take.
See,
Yeah.
I never record anything.
My set with my intro to Rick was 9 minutes and 37 seconds. But I knew in my head that if I was at a point where I got the light and the last bit I'm doing, if it fucking crushes,
Done.
I'm like,
Showmanship.
let me just get out of here
Yeah,
because
yeah,
this is.
yeah.
I don't even want to give them an opportunity to not,
exactly.
to not love the next because the next two things were a little bit like
Shaky.
not even shaky, but they could go wrong if I'm up there talking for however many minutes about like doing like that vaccine side effect joke.
Oh,
like if I'm gonna if I'm not gonna close on that joke. Like unless it's going crazy good, I'm gonna plan a very short little out at the very end to be like da 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 da,
Gotcha.
like and just kind of bounce. So like once that joke crushed and it was like I knew I was at like 8:30, I was like I'm fucking cutting it right here.
Will I be able to do this podcast after I leave?
No, you're fired.
No, you're fired.
They're just gonna come request fucking impressions. Do impressions.
Call Bruce.
Dude,
Everybody loves an impression.
in my set, my best and worst moment was the beginning because I riffed and it didn't go well. And sometimes that
So
tanks
funny,
me.
yeah.
And I'm like, when it happened in my head,
You
I'm like,
reset
there you go.
really nicely.
I was like, Quincy, there
Very
you go.
funny.
You don't want to be happy. That's what I said to myself. You don't want to be happy. You know this is showcase. By the way, I didn't put my set together until the day of. Like I didn't know what
Yeah,
jokes I was going to
but
do in
that's
the
fine.
order.
It's just a 10-minute thing.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
used to doing 10 minutes.
Exactly.
You do the road enough that you can just like
But
throw out a 10
That'd be
minutes.
I
so
ripped,
easy
I
if you'd
ripped
have
on
been like,
Matt's last
you don't
joke
wanna
and it
be
did not
happy
go
if you
well,
just said
dude. And
that.
I was like, ugh, oh my God. And then I was like, fuck it, I've done well. I know what's happening, and I just got into it, and it went well enough. Yeah.
I didn't.
You started doing your jokes immediately that you picked it up and brought it back. It was great.
Thank
See,
you.
I didn't come the night before just because I was like,
It was funny that you went. It was good. You didn't come the night before.
I didn't come to the showcases things
I
just
worked
because I was like, I'm gonna fuck. I was like, I literally, I was like, I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna like I'd like made a steak and like I was like, I'm gonna chill, make food. I'm gonna go to bed early and just like fucking relax. And
I
then
did. That's what I did.
took
Yeah,
some
I didn't want to
melatonin,
come to
dude.
the
I think it
other
was
ones
raining, too.
because you guys are all my friends. I like you, and I know you're very funny, and I didn't want to judge myself compared to you guys. Does that make sense?
100%.
Like I didn't want to be like, oh, I did better than that, or I did
No,
worse
you
than that. I
have
didn't
to
want to
compete
do
with me right now.
I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted to wish all of us luck, and then we all got
Yeah,
past.
you're almost
and I was
wanting
like,
to
oh,
stop
man.
yourself from having like an intrusive thinking way of like,
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
these guys.
It's
my time.
I would not have
That's
been. I
right.
would not have been able to just fully enjoy it, and other things would have been
the
on my
night,
mind.
the night before, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the night, yeah.
The
you
night
were-
after, even
The night that I was on, I stayed in, I went in during Marin's set, and then I watched Luke and Dave, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, like this is what it's all about. Like I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
let's fucking go. Like had already the entire whatever it was 8 days leading up to the fucking thing. I was like, I feel like I got all of the panic about everything completely out of the way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, now I'm just anxious because of I want it to be here now. I even said that to someone else. I wish that they had called me and been like, "Hey, tonight 8:00," and I'd be like, "Okay, perfect."
like day
hey,
of.
tonight, 9:55. Let's do it. And I'd
Sure.
be like, "Great, this is perfect."
Well, I think we're about done.
We're just getting started.
it's so funny.
Yeah, Dave, you're out of here. You're kicked out.
Is that not true? I think
That's
she
like
gave
you
us
just-
the light earlier.
She gave me a sign that said 45 minutes, and I was having a good time, so I was planning on
Yeah, well,
talking for a
this
while.
is-
Well, I
The
just
last
thought
sign
we'd
I
go
saw
into
said
our
30
closing
minutes.
Statements.
There's no closing statements.
Dave,
Where do you gotta
I'm
go?
getting
Wait,
there.
we're not. You gotta watch the basketball
Yeah, we're not
game?
on trial. Dave.
Basketball game
I
doesn't
have
start
two
for
more
20
things
minutes.
on my list, and I was going to wrap up.
Yeah,
but
Dave,
you have
this is your-
somewhere that you want to see basketball.
This is your
Is that
last.
it?
This is your last time on the podcast.
But actually, I
This
do
is
have to
your
go.
last time working at the
I have to
comedy.
go
When's
do
you guys
the.
to go?
I have to do the open mic list. Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
that. That's not due till.
We know when
cares?
that's due. We
yeah.
do it. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah. There you go. Show some respect, guys. Luke's still the captain for 3
Yeah.
more weeks.
Yeah.
Until
Well, thanks for listening to the Door Guy podcast.
I guess I guess the time exactly where comics were on the stopwatch 3 times in a row in one night. That was pretty cool.
Oh,
I guess 3 different comics. I was like, "What's he at? 8:30?" And it was 8:30. Like, boom! I got it. I was like, "Yeah, that's good." And it felt really like, damn, I might be too good at this job.
Yeah.
I might be the guy that like can't.
Is that you justifying not quitting ever is by saying that you're just too damn good?
No, that's not it at all. That means I might have to walk. Jordan played baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you might. Yeah.
You might have to go be a door guy at
Go be a
Flappers.
father.
Yeah,
and
you might have to
then-
go- you might have
I'm
to go
gonna
to the
be a
mothership.
father, and then yeah. I'm
Well,
going to
Luke
the
actually
mothership.
cares and takes care of the
Anti-woke
place. I don't know if
comedy
people notice that, and I think
That's
you
what I'm
may
basing
be
the captain thing on too.
yeah, you may be
Yeah.
slightly afraid of someone not taking care of it as well when you're done. I don't know. Just
Yeah, I am worried about that.
You just need to show everybody where all the light switches are before you leave.
See, this is my problem. You've been working here for years and years and years, and you don't know.
I know where a lot of them are.
I know. Yeah.
More than some
they're
people.
mostly
More
on the
than some
wall.
people.
Don't point at
It's a
me. I know
great
where
stat.
everything's
That's
at.
Right,
a
Bruce?
great stat
I
in
know
your
where light
column.
switches
I
are.
know
They're
how
on
to
the
turn on
wall.
the back
right?
heater.
Like where every light
I was a
switch is.
terrific
That's a
door
good
guy
one.
until like 2 months ago.
And still, you're better than average. Without trying.
Dude, I'm great nowadays. I'm great for the first, from the time the doors open, 15 minutes before the doors open
Yeah.
until the show starts. I'm the man.
I do.
And then after that, I cannot bring
I do
myself
a
to
good
give a fuck about anything anymore, dude. It's impossible. I can't, dude. I tried so hard to sit in the room for anything the other night during a major show I was working, and it had nothing to do with the quality of the comedy.
No,
I
it
literally
has
would just
nothing.
go in there. I would sit down for, I swear to God, 30 seconds, and I would just be like, and I would just
very
go.
Luke.
I would just go back out to the parking lot and start playing
Yeah.
catch with a football. I couldn't do. I can't
I'm
do
good
it.
for the
dude.
first hour before, and then hour into the show, and then that's it. That's all I got. And then I'll be in and out every 30 seconds. I'm in and out.
I cannot. I'll pop my head in, and then if there's anything going down, I'll give people.
You guys abandoned me in there. I know it. I'm like, why did my?
Here's the thing.
Here's what's fucked up.
When I can finally count on you.
No,
but also, I need to count on you.
I tried to.
What happens is I'll be in there with like a young crew, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why am I the only one here?
Because you're a senior guy that can handle his shit, supposedly. Please handle the room.
No, see, that's what
the old guys always disappeared.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
One time,
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
That doesn't make no sense.
I don't know.
I'm an old guy now. I should be able to leave.
He wants to be able to leave the room.
I tried to multiple times.
me.
Multiple times, I gave people shit about being like, "Dude, what the fuck? Why am I the only one in the room?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I just don't be. just do exactly what everyone else is doing." Like,
exactly.
Being a great, truly, this really
No,
also too.
I'll yell at the younger guys. Get back in the room.
Absolutely, young.
What are you doing?
If you
I'm
ever-
out here. Get back in the fucking room.
Yes, if you're a new dork, you're supposed to really give a shit.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be comfortable that fast.
Yes, that's the thing. It's a comfortability thing. You shouldn't be comfortable enough to whatever. Well, now I'm comfortable enough to set this whole place on fire.
Yeah. My favorite quote was Alex Hanna. He's like, I'm gonna go break Hormels out in Sacred Ground. Sacred Ground is where everyone goes to smoke. I'm sure they mentioned it many times.
No, yeah.
Hormels after he seats the room, just that he's there for the rest of his shift, and it's just so funny. Alex is hilarious.
Yeah, dude. It's also I like to see if the show can run autonomously. No gods, no masters.
You set yourself up for success. You give a spiel that is like you look people in the eye and you go, "Hi,
hard.
folks." Yeah, you do good. You really give a long one.
It's not that it's
I'm
long.
biased.
It's that
I think
it's
my
thorough.
spiel is the best spiel.
It's not. It's not.
I
even
think
close.
it's
I have the best.
so
spiel, and it's not
far
even
and
close.
away. You are.
You bum
very
everybody
fun.
out with your spiel, man.
I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
My
man.
spiel's fun and it gets people fucking in line,
I
ready
think
to
yours is
fucking
great.
go.
Can you do an impression of Luke's spiel?
Hi, yeah, I work here. This is my voice. Hi, everybody. Sorry for yelling.
Yeah, he did say that. He
Yeah,
really
Alex
did yell.
Hanna took my.
No, your face was
be nice
perfect,
to
dude.
everybody. But I give it the Carnival Barker best of. I go, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the Comedy Store."
Dude, I'm the carnival.
Real quick. Well, you're like Mr. You are actually. I'm doing my best impersonation of it.
I
I think I get people
I get the room.
calm and
I get the
excited,
room
like
full.
calm.
I get the room as full as it can possibly be in the main room lobby, and then I look and I see exactly who the person at the very
you
end of
really-
my voice is, and then that's when I know when to start the next one. And I go, everybody, come on! And I like really get everybody. And then if people are still
Yeah,
talking,
you're just yelling you're yelling
but then
a lot.
if people, I can tell people when they're disrespectful whenever I start my thing, and I go, "You two, gonna need your attention," so I don't.
I know.
So when I kick you out later, you'll know I told you, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
You're like the fun substitute.
Yeah, I go hard.
Yeah,
and
you're
people
like-
listen, and I give such a thorough one because then if people fuck up, I can go to them and be like, "It was the first thing we said."
Yeah, it's great.
So rude.
grayed out.
You're so rude. That's what I tell people. You're rude. They'll be like,
Shaming grown-ups is
Oh,
really
dude, people
fun.
take pictures and then I'll be like, "Oh, delete it." I'll be like, "Whoa, I didn't know." I'll be like, "It was the first thing I told you. It's just so rude." I go, "How rude?"
I always go. I'm like, what are you doing? That's what I say to people.
Yeah, you can scold
But Dave,
him.
half the time you mean it.
I am. Man.
You're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Dude, school's out for summer.
Well, my Instagram is Dave Waite Comedy.
Yeah.
And my Twitter, everything is Dave Waite Comedy.
His Twitter's Dave Waite's Bussy XXX.
We're doing plugs, right?
Yeah, butt plugs for you. Gay Dave at
We're
Dave
calling
Duncan.
it, I'm sure.
Quincy, what's going
Quincy,
on?
You got
Do we all just
dates
get
coming up?
unpassed?
Oh, do I have dates coming up?
I've
you've
been
been-
talking
you've
to
been-
this
Yeah,
girl
I do.
here
Sorry, no,
there.
it's yeah.
Lives
There's
in
a bunch of
Canada.
messages.
She wants
Yeah,
some
yeah.
money wired
She goes to
her.
a different
Yeah.
country. You guys
She
don't
goes
know
to a
her.
different comedy
She
club.
goes to a different country is intense. She goes to a different country.
Quincy's falling in love with the phones girl at,
Yeah,
at the mothership.
At the Yuck Yucks in
Yeah,
Vancouver.
I'm
or
getting
whatever.
catfished on the avails. My dates this week, I have 3 improv spots: Ontario, Oxnard, and
Levity
Irvine,
Live.
and then
Not improvs anymore.
Oxnard.
or Levity Lives, and then next
Or like,
week I'm in Florida, Naples, and some other place.
Wow. With anybody?
Yes, David Lucas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, former door guy, Comedy Store door guy.
Man,
Yeah.
the ribs budget must be through the roof on that tour. Hey, I'm
Bruce.
You can find me all over town. The only one I really care about is April 29th, Tembler Brewery in Bakersfield. It's going to be a hoot and a holler. A bunch of shows in Portland. Just go to brucegregcomedy.com for details. Follow me on Instagram, Bruce Gray.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram,
I'm on
Quincy
the
L.
Almost
Weekly.
Single show on Wednesday. When does this come out?
Quincy
I'm on
L.
Eliza's
Weekly.
local show on April 27th, Thursday, April 27th, 7 p.m. at
Is it
the
a
Tom
live? It's a
Bur-
live show.
At the Tom Burgins. I've never been
Yeah.
there. It's probably Tom Burgins. Just
Luke
called
is
Tom
one of us
Burgins.
who actually has like 2 really big credits, man.
I have one credit
Luke,
and
he's
one
been-
debit.
You on Comedy Central?
Yeah. Bill Burr, hand selected Bill Burr, right?
Yeah, and Eliza.
And Eliza, yeah.
I really had a nice moment on the main room the other week where I was later on a goddamn comedy jam, not goddamn comedy jam, but his
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah.
Shimmy, yeah.
Josh Adam Meyer's hosting a hell of a show, and then puts me up at the end. But it's a show that Burr and Eliza both were on, and I was like, "Hey, hey everybody, Burr and Eliza, Bill Burr was on this show. You saw that was pretty cool, yeah." Eliza was also on the show. I don't think they'd agree, but it's interesting. I've been on both of their TV shows. Both of them, I bridged their gap. The gap between Bill Burr and Eliza is me, and it was like I got a much bigger reaction than you
I was
guys.
going to say right now. I was like, did it do as well as it's doing right
It
now?
did very well.
Yeah.
I got a very nice compliment the other day, which I think is the nicest compliment you could possibly get from Dom Herrera, who I love. I think Dom Herrera is a very obviously
National
legendary
treasure.
comedian. Whenever I had done the spots on Eleanor's special taping, after the first show, I was sitting at one of the booths and he was leaving. And he walks out and he hits me on the shoulder and he goes, "Hey, that was really good." He goes, that was great. You really did a great job." And I was like, wow. I was like, I think he could see
That's
that I was
cool.
taken back. And I was like, whoa, oh man, awesome. I appreciate that, Dom. And he goes, yeah, no problem. And then I was in the last booth by the OR door and he peels back the curtain. And it's like maybe like me, him, and like 2 or 3 other people on the other side of the room there at this point, and then like a guy who's like with him, And then he goes, yeah, except for the material. That sucked. And then he walked away. And I was like, motherfucker. It was such a nice moment for like 10 seconds. So even the second part, it's like that's his version of nice.
I'm at Luke Does Stuff on Twitter. I never tweet anymore. That's my new thing. But
It's because
I'm
you're
on
losing
there.
you lost your verification.
It's coming up. I haven't yet. It's really.
You're not going to pay for it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why? I thought you were an Elon guy.
Oh, interesting. Do I give off that vibe
Did you
at
see
all?
Karen Bass throw the first pitch at the opening day at Dodger Stadium?
No, I didn't.
Let's just say it was not a strike, buddy. We're having fun.
I'm on Instagram. I rate. If you're listening this long, you should rate and review on the thing.
Rate and review,
If you're
guys.
listening this long, go to the Ding Dong Show Monday nights. You might end up on the show.
Yeah. Everything else, I'm forgetting stuff. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time. Bye.
We're all paid regulars.